this is Mumbai City, a city that's always on the move. Why not? It's the financial capital of the country. Like you cross the road, you look left, right, back again to the left. It's always a tough call to make, especially on smart money. We tell you how to make the right kind of investment, the basics of how to get your money to work for you. Here's what you'll be taking away from the show this time. Traffic in Mumbai can be such a pain sometimes, but of course, as far as Manan is concerned, we don't want his dreams to get stuck in traffic. Here's what he brings to the table to make his dreams possible. Manan's monthly income is 50,000 rupees. He also gets incentives that add up to around 2 lakh rupees a year, which makes his annual income 8 lakh rupees. His total savings to date add up to 6 lakh rupees. As far as his investments are concerned, he's put in 1 lakh rupees in mutual funds, 2 lakh rupees in equities, 1 lakh rupees is in fixed deposits, and he's got cash in hand of 50,000 rupees. His current expenses every month are anything in the range of 10 and 15,000 rupees. So with all of that on the table, now Manan's wondering whether he can afford to have his 2 dreams fulfilled. To answer that question, we toss it over to a financial trainer, Amit Trivedi.
Looking at your present cash flow, getting your production house by the age of 30 and your Merc by 35, that looks quite stretched, because I was running the numbers, and the return requirement from your investments would be in excess of 50% annualized compounded, which is a very, very high target.
Correct. But do you suggest that, say in this period, between the age of 25 to 30, when I'm actually earning, say if my rate of earning changes, is it possible for me to achieve the same in a timeline where, at the age of 30 I am able to have my production house, and by 35 a Mercedes?
One of the ways of achieving your goals as per the desired timeline is to increase the gap between the income and expenses.
Right.
Some people may reduce their expenses and increase the gap, but I think in your case, expenses are at a reasonable level, and there is a potential to grow your income also. Looking at the rate of return required, which works out to more than 50%,
right,
I think bringing that rate down to a manageable level is challenging. How fast your income grows,
right.
I think that's something that we need to really look at. Assuming very high growth rates, the chances of failure are higher. So if we start with some reasonable expectations, that is better.
Then could you suggest me some another line at which I should be looking at to achieve these goals?
If you delay your goals by a few years, and I was running the numbers, if you delay both your goals by 5 years each, and then these goals become achievable.
Right.
Even with your present level of earnings and expenses, if they grow at the rate of normal inflation, I put the inflation figure at 6%.
Right.
So both your income and expenses higher allocation towards a combination of equity and real estate. Why am I saying equity and real estate? Because both are ownership assets, both are inflation proof, so they can give you inflation adjusted better returns. But a diversified equity fund, actively managed, or simply a low cost index fund, would be a better idea.
So basically you are suggesting that I should put my money in mutual funds, or you suggest that do I take a direct exposure in equity?
I think, as I mentioned earlier, I would prefer mutual fund approach.
Because to be very frank with you, I have not been much comfortable with mutual funds.
Okay.
With market crashing, I don't want other people to decide that which stock they invest in on my behalf. So I feel mutual fund might not be the right way for me to invest in the market.
We're taking a small pit stop to refuel for a bit, but of course we don't want our man Manan's dreams to get stalled for any reason. Now he's thinking mutual funds is not his scene, and the reason is of course quite clear: the way the markets are moving. He doesn't trust anyone with his money, least of all a fund manager. But what are the other options available for him? To find out that, we toss it over to a financial trainer again, Amit Trivedi.
Manan, I think it's a very valid observation, very valid point. However, I would still go back to the income expense equation part which I mentioned earlier. How can you enhance your income? You can enhance your income by investing your knowledge, your time, your energies into your profession. Because between the profession and investment, generally it is the profession which generates much higher income, much higher level of income as compared to investments. And I also mentioned that between a diversified mutual fund, or an index fund, you may also look at an index fund. Why am I recommending that? Because I believe that the asset class equity itself has the potential to deliver superior returns compared to other asset classes. So I am saying you would be better off concentrating on your profession and increasing the income there. The point here is, do you really want to spend that time and generate that 2% extra, or rather focus more on your profession and generate that 20% or 200% extra? So based on the discussion, I think there are a few points. One is, try and see how you can increase your income. At the same time, be flexible about the timeline of your goals. So if you have to delay the goals by a couple of years or maybe 4 or 5 years, be flexible, be open about it.
Right.
And whatever your savings, barring the fixed deposit that you have, which is a sweep-in account, and some amount in cash or bank, barring that, I think you should keep putting your money in a diversified equity fund or a low-cost index fund.
Right.
Do a systematic investing month after month. Regularly your money goes into that, and you're free to devote all your time into your business.
Correct.
There you go, all your questions answered right here on Smart Money on Smartbox. Don't forget, if you have more questions, you can send them across to us. Our email ID, that remains the same. That's smartmoney@utvi.com. And then, of course, there's the SMS number, which is 59995. All you have to do is SMS SMART, put your name, your city, your question with spaces in between. You send it across to us. We'll answer it on Smartbox. With that, it's a wrap on this episode of Smart Money. Until we meet again, keep learning, keep watching on UTVI. Bye-bye.